Yeah, we're back. Um, I'm still working on the ribs. I'm hoping to get, I'd like to get these ribs set tonight, sanded, so I can take it off the bench and I don't have to worry about what it's doing so I can finish doing some other projects I need to get on the bench. There are a couple of things I want to point out here when doing one of these tapered trailing edges. You'll notice that the line across here is not straight. Well, your control horn is straight, so you're going to need to sand that straight. We're setting the horn in. Now, I do these a little different because of the way this works. I cut a slot in the fuselage side on the bottom, and I drop in the horn this way. And I'm going to show when I do this. See, normally the bearings for the horn are drilled into the trailing edge. Well, there's no way to do that unless you cut a long slot an inch back this way, and I don't want to do that. So what I do is I do it in reverse. I take a piece of 3/8 wood about an inch wide, and I set those two control horns in that piece of wood, and the hinges for the horn are facing that direction instead of this direction, glued into a piece of 3/8. And then I just glue that in. And after it's set, then I take away the excess material. But it's not going anywhere. So that's good. So let's set a couple more ribs. I know it's really boring to watch this rib setting process. It's a repetition, same thing over and over and over again. But if you want to build airplanes, you're going to have to learn how to sand and you're going to have to learn repetition. And I had to do this 72 times. I notched that down about halfway through the 1/8 inch, so down about a 1/16. And what that does is it captures the rib. A lot of times I'll see a beam wing airplane where the ribs have broke loose from the spar, and it's like a snake. It's going down the way like that. So if you do it that way, it captures them. I have done it another way where I've cut these as spacers, placed the rib on top of the spar, and then added these in afterwards. But I think this is a little stronger. Of course, I'm not looking to build airplanes to crash, so I'm not really worried about too much strength. The only thing that this has to do is last the season. If you get one season out of an airplane, you're good. You get more than one, you're way ahead of yourself. Oh, I got some news from the team trials for those who are interested. Okay, team trial results. First was Orestes Hernandez, big surprise, 2371. Second was Dave Fitzgerald, another big surprise, 2340. The big surprise was Matt Colin, third, so he's on the team, 2273, so he's 100 points behind Orestes. Joe Daly was fourth. Todd Lee was fifth. Howard Rush was sixth. Doug Moon, previous stats winner. Doug Moon was seventh. Joe Gilbert with 8, Steve Moon 9th, and Frank McMillan 10th. So congratulations to Orestes, David, and Matt Colon. And I guess the alternate will be Joe Daly and Todd Lee, the 2 alternates. The juniors, there was only 1 entrant, so he was first place. Gabe Almoff with a score of 2035. So there you have it. There's our team selection for this year to be represented next year in Muncie after the Nats. So that's pretty good. I mean, I remember when Matt Collins, before Matt Collins' voice changed. So congrats to Matt. So we're hand fitting ribs. Anybody here? What the hell was that noise? They spying on me? Well, throw that over there. All this spying shit really starting to aggravate me. So this is not an exciting video. It's just placing ribs over and over and over again. I see a whole bunch of people jumped off here. Ah, damn. I just popped that rib out. Better now than never, I guess. There we go. I'll just have to carefully detail sand this thing. Now, where the 2 ribs meet at the tail, you got to sand an angle in the tail like this. So that sits on top of the other rib. We're down to 3. So many have asked for the complete build process, yet nobody wants to stick around. What the heck's the deal? I'll bet they'll be around when I paint her. Everybody wants to know about how to finish. And I can tell you, the finish is at the end of the sandpaper. We'll do this video for an hour. I'm hoping to complete this all tonight and get it off the bench. And tomorrow I'll do tips. I'll do a video on tips. What are we doing here? Because the tips on this are kind of unique. Well, they're not unique. They're just different. It's Billy, when he built beam wings, he just used a 1/2 inch thick piece of balsa wood. Now the outer perimeter, just a piece of sheet. Thank you. Well, these are 1/2 inch, but they're built up. And they're built up in such a way to make them stronger. So I take a piece of 1/8 inch here. This is super lightweight. And I cut it out into a 1/2 inch perimeter. Then I lay on top, leaving a ledge for the ribs to set on, because it gets 2 ribs out here, 1, 2. And I don't know how unique it is, but it's built up. I always did that on the Vipers. I probably ought to start doing it on the rest of my airplanes too. I think what I'm going to do, because I have that beam with a wormhole in it, is I'm going to take my 32F and I'm going to build a smaller, well, same wing, smaller, a sorcerer. It'll be a 32 on a pipe. And performance, that airplane really performed. I guess John Lowry passed away with all my stuff. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, it was his stuff, but Fox was looking to kit that airplane, but they never did. So once this wing is locked up, I don't have to worry about it getting out of shape. 3 left on this side. Nope. I gotta sand another notch. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. This is the thing that takes the time, hand fitting all these ribs. But it's I like beam wings. I think it's worth it. Nice looking. You just match them up to the bottom side. I already spaced them out with this. I'm only using this to guide the sandpaper for the notch, so that the notch is in there straight. Yeah, one more. We're done. This side. Yeah, shoot. One more on the inboard, then it's the outboard side. We can sand it up and take it off the bench. Can I do it? I think I need a little less screw on this next one. Now, the way that Billy does it is he sands the front of the spar. I guess. I mean, to each his own. I mean, he is the king of the I-beams. I just don't do it the same as him. With zero issues. So. Okay, that's the last one. Okay, over to this side. You guys got any questions on this rib fitment stuff? Just tedious work. Boy, it looks good when you're done, though. There's a couple of steps left to do. I need to put a straight edge across there and put my stanchions in between. I also need to sew the ribs or sew this wing A lot of guys put an extra spar in there. Okay. Guess I can't get it in there from here. They put it in this way and stand it up. That's just an extra piece of wood. I don't know. We could look into that, I suppose. Slide it in from the end instead of sticks. Then it would leave out the thread. I don't think that'd be as effective now that I think about it. Because each one of these ribs, just like pinstriping, is imperfect. Each one is slightly, just a few thousandths thinner or thicker in width, meaning from here to there. So, I mean, if it was laser cut where everything was absolutely perfect, you could do that. But seeing as it my only laser is my eye, I don't think so. Okay. It goes relatively fast when you're watching TV and you're listening to music. Whatever, it takes a long time when I have to talk for an hour and do this, but we'll get her done. Let's see here. My center ribs have been, thread weighs nothing. It doesn't even register on the scale. I'm sure it weighs something, but can't register it on the scale. See, the guy, they put a stick in like this, you know, standing up. And yeah, you could do that. But my airplanes are made for hacks. And so the first rib is on this plywood. So I can't notch that plywood, so we'll take one of the thicker of the two, which would be like this. I'll set it here. Where's my pen? We'll make a notch there. This top piece of plywood is a piece of 7-ply birch plywood. That's probably going to be the only place for birch plywood in the thing. You do a notch like that. Okay, I can't even see the stupid mark. Too long. Yeah, I can't play no music. Oh, I didn't notice. I did. Let me check and see. Maybe the pastor has got his. I cut that notch too deep. Ah, shit. Oh well. There's a fix for that. Maybe the pastor has his video uploaded. Okay, the fix for this is going to be this. Put one on each side. Put it on all four. That way. That way it locks it in. I'm going to put one on this side too, because there's really no notch to hold that on there with. Yeah, I don't believe that's that's the truth that they use balsa wood in them. My belief is that they used up all the old growth wood. You know, they dug it out and they kind of stripped the forest dry of the old growth where we got the light stuff. Now they started growing, saw a need for it, started doing plantation wood, and that's why we got shit wood. What do I know? I'm just a dumb mechanic building toy airplanes. Okay, we got that glued in good. So now we're on to the next one. Hopefully I'll remember to do that on the bottom. I'm sure I will. I want this super primo, this airplane. I hope when I break this off the bench, it's light. God, I hope it's light. It needs to be about 14 ounces. 14, 15, 16. And this needs to be, it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 ounces. It needs to be close to 20 ounces together, one piece, uncovered. I probably can go all the way to 25 ounces with 17 ounces of hard, 18, 25, that's 43. Yeah, I probably could go all the way to 25, but it sure be nice to be in the 20-ounce range. I've done my best with the wood I got. Let's see. Where's my other stick? There it is. I got two different sticks. This is the inboard stick right here. This is the outboard stick. The rib spacing is about 64th different. And you do a 64th, 64 times, that's an inch. It makes a big difference. Or 32nd, 32 times. That's an inch. That's why, like when I hand paint signs or whatever, they say, well, hey, that's not perfect. Well, if you want perfect, you buy a sticker, because this is all handmade. And handmade ain't perfect. So get over it. Make sure the ribs are set in perpendicular. You don't want them leaning over. You don't have to use a square or nothing. I just eyeball them. I suppose the A way to come out absolutely perfect would be leave the wingtips floating and then use the same stick on each side. And then when you got to the last tip, you could float, last rib, you could float that outboard wingtip out, whatever the distance of this stick is. But we're not building a watch, we're just building a model. The best control line pilot in the world wouldn't be able to tell a 64th difference between wing rib spacing while he's flying it. Got to make sure to bring a jacket to Omaha. I bet it's going to be cold up there. I'm not one of them typing Nazis or spelling Nazis that cares about your grammar, your spelling, because mine is poor. If I'm yelling at you, there'll be some profanity in there. Got a piece of dried CA here. We definitely want to get that off there before I start sanding. There, pop. Come on, get off there. And when I talked to Joe today, there we go, got it. When I talked to Joe today, he said it looks like he'd be about fifth, but shit, he ended up about ninth, eighth or ninth. We better get back on track here. What's the deal? Huh. That's the deal. That thing moved over. God damn it. There we go. There it is. There it is. Moved over 32nd of an inch. Okay. All right. Got that fixed. Why does that look so goofy? You're right. Oh, well, just won't worry about it. Ain't nothing but a thing. So this mirror is deceptive. You get reflections and stuff off this. You don't know where you're at. If I had it to do again, I wouldn't have no glass on here. You know what? We're going to move this notch and straighten this up a couple thousandths. If I don't straighten it up now, stack tolerance, it'll be way out on the other end. That's better. That's better. Oh, that's up way up there. Shit, I'll have to sand the crap out of that. That's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it. There it is. Yeah, should be better. Got you now, you dog. Okay, what I did there was it was starting to get out of tolerance. So instead of letting it go on, stack up all the way to the end where the rib would be way out, I moved it over about 15 thousandths to bring it in line. Your eyes can't see it after it's covered, but I sure could see it while it wasn't covered. So that's about 15 thousandths. That's about 15 thousandths, and it's tight here. So it's about, yeah, it's about 15 thousandths. But that should straighten up the. Thank you, Tony. Yes, you did. That is this right here. And is it square? You bet. Where's my squares? There we go. Here's a square I made. There's a square I bought. It's absolutely perfect. These are paint sticks. 3, 4, 5. That's how you get it square. if you measure over 3 and you measure up 4, it'll be 5 from that point to that point. 3, 4, 5. If it's perfectly square. I think that's right. Or maybe it's, yeah, that's right. 3, 4, 5. Shit, now you got me guessing. Oh, shoot. This is one of them goofy rulers that doesn't start at the right spot. I wish it was back at work. I'd cut that on the shear right off at 0. This stupid thing. 3. 4. Yep, that's right. 3, 4, 5. So, like I say, measure over 3, up 4, and it should be 5 from that dot to that dot, and that's what it is. 3, 4, 5. I thought I had it right. Shit. You never know. I'm losing my brains. So if you're doing a big project, it'd be 3 foot by 4 foot by 5 foot, or 30 foot by 50 foot, 30 foot by 40 foot by 50 foot to get a square, whatever. Don't ask me what that is in metric measurements. I have no clue. I doubt it works in metric. Not that formula, but maybe some other formula does. Now I lost the knife. There we go. Now we're going to get this thing buttoned up. The old lady's not home, so it's not time for dinner. It probably won't be time for dinner for a couple hours. Yeah, I understand. I had one of my credit cards close my account yesterday. And I said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And they said, "Well, we thought you didn't want it anymore." I said, "Well, did I say that I didn't want it anymore?" They said, "No." I said, "Well, what's the deal then?" "Well, you haven't activated your new card." "Well, I don't have a new card." They said, "Well, it expired 9/23. Shit, this one's too narrow. 9/23. I said, "Well, you guys, I never got a new card." So and it decreased my credit score by 11 points. So, well, I don't want to deactivate it. If you guys want to deactivate it, knock yourself out. So they reinstated me. Said look for a new card in 10 days. Thanks for letting me know. problem with the world. Nobody gives a shit. This thing's out too, out a few thousand, so we're gonna have to pull that over. Gotta get it on track here. I'm gonna end up cattywampus. Yeah. Use PayPal. Use PayPal. And it's amazing. Just a few thousandths of an inch can screw you up. Okay, you can shut off. Yep. They do some stuff I don't like, but they do some stuff that's really helpful. They protect you pretty good. I don't like the woke agenda that they have. It seems like I'm just going to have to deal with it. Okay, is that going to be right now? It's pretty close. Yeah, let's fudge it just a smidge. And get her back on track. When you go woke, you go broke. Just think, when we get all these in, I got to look forward to sanding them out. Shit. There we go. We're back on track now. Except I cut it too damn short. Shit. Yeah. Put it down one. There it is. Got perfect too. There it is. Okay, we're back on track. I'm going to be back at it until I get it ready to paint. I want to see if I can beat my 38-day special. Well, that was 38 days in the air. I don't think I'll make 38 days in the air, but I know it'll go together faster. I know this will go together in 2 weeks. Of course, I am leaving Friday, so I won't be working on it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I'll have to take that into consideration. Never been to Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know if they got a cell tower at the field, so I don't know whether I can stream live. I'll try. Such a pain in the ass. I think I'll do the same thing again. I'll fly my first flight without streaming, not worry about the camera, worry about the flight. Get at least one good flight in. And then go to streaming. I'd like to win the third one. 3 in a row would be nice. But it is a hometown. Jared is the hometown favorite, I'm sure. Yep, we're back on track now. That's good. I don't know until I get it off the bench here and check. I'm using lighter wood except for fuselage sides. I didn't have any 3/32, so I used 1/8 inch. However, it is 5-pound wood, so I'm going to end up sanding out the back half of this. It's just more work, that's all. So we've been in it an hour, and I got how many ribs left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left. It's the same shit, rinse and repeat. I'll get these done, and maybe I'll come back when I'm sanding. I don't know. You guys seem to enjoy my sanding videos. But I figure about an hour is all I can stand talking. I've done it longer, but it's tough. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, super chat when you can, because This channel is really weak this month. The metrics are way down. Yeah, I get to look at everything on the back end. So I think we've only done about $40 this month. It's not good. Found me a 5-piece in my stash, a 5-pound piece of nose block material. I used 3/4 on the other one, but I'm going to use 1 inch on this one so I don't get a flat spot on the top. And we'll sand a long sweeping curve into it and hollow it out. This is, like I say, this model is going to be called Simply Blues. It's going to be all monochromatic blue with some red accent. If I put any white on, it'll be very little. I'm thinking about mixing up my blue first, my light blue first, and bringing it up from the base in light blue, so it's just a sputs of light blue on the whole thing. And it'll be the same color scheme as what I have, only in blues. Be a light blue leading edge with navy blue checkerboards, and then a metallic blue trim with some red stripes on it, and a three-tone metallic blue or 3-tone blue scallops on the nose. And I'll probably do gold leaf lettering again. I wish I could do spun leaf lettering, but I just don't trust myself to spin that leaf on open base, so it'll be variegated again. I might do some hand lettering and some notes. We're going to have some notes on this one instead of the VIPER decal. We'll put some notes on it, like musical instrument notes. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I might change my mind too about how that goes together. I'm still going to do it all blue, but I might not do the same color scheme as that airplane because there's a lot of extra paint. I might, depending where I'm at, this model is all about trying to make that weight, that 50-ounce weight. So we might leave some of the color off of it and just make it monochromatic blue without all that heavy dark blue shit all over. We'll see. Be light blue, medium blue, and navy blue. And then I'm going to shoot pearl over the top of it. What happened to the pearl? What happened to the pearl? Man, oh, it must be on this bucket here. No. Huh. Maybe I won't shoot pearl. The shops ate it already. Yeah, I think they're going to be $40, Yogi. Because the video is going to go with them. I don't know. We'll see. I had pearl. I don't know what happened to it. It's around somewhere. So that'll make it look nice. I tried mixing that pearl into some red and turned it terrible. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to mix it in color. You're supposed to mix it in the clear. Oh, I see it. There it is right there. Put this in my box so I don't lose it. This is 25 grams of glitter pearl. So, in the box. Maybe I'll look at House of Color pearls and see what they got going. I'd like to have a blue pearl on it. This kind of looks reddish to me. I'll have to do an experiment. Spray a little clear and see what it looks like. Well, I'm not the guy who's editing the video. Tony is editing the video. I haven't seen a finished copy yet, but I mean, the videos are here on YouTube anyway. So, but he's condensing them down so that the 38 days is available in a few hours instead of 38 days worth of video. Cuts out all the BS of me talking and just showing step by step how I did stuff. Hey, Craig. One point 1.0. I normally shoot clear with 0.08, but I'll shoot that with 1.0. I'm not going to load it up big time with a lot of pearl. If you look at my Monado, the one that I won the concourse with, that has a ever so slight, I mean just hint of gold flake over the whole top of the thing. It's got the gold leaf letters on red, and it's gold flake everywhere, but you have to be standing in the right spot to see it. And it's really stunning. It's really nice. So less is more. So I'll probably only put maybe 1 tablespoon of this in a quart of clear. So it's not like I'm shooting turds out the end, And it's really fine, that stuff. Now, the gold effect that I got was a mistake. If you go back in my channel and look at the gold leaf for dummies, or the gold leaf I did on the Monado, I used gold. I took retarder and I used gold paint, and I put a bunch of retarder in it to slow it down for sizing so I could stick that gold leaf down, because I wasn't sure about using the ducks sizing because it's oil based. And when I put that leaf down, I used that gold paint. Well, when I cleaned the gun up, all I did was shoot some thinner through it. Well, I didn't realize down in the bottom there's a little screen, and I didn't take that screen out to get that globule of gold flake that was down in there. I just left it in there. And when I started shooting the gold, I went, oh shit, I just ruined this airplane. And I got to looking at it after the first coat. I go, this might look pretty good. And it sure did. So it was a mistake. I'll never be able to replicate that effect again. Just not going to happen. Even if I did it the same way, I don't believe it'd happen again. The conditions were just absolutely perfect for that to happen. I don't fly that model much because I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is the turn. It's 59 ounces. Super Tiger, it flies well. Super Tiger 60. Balsa dust. But the numbers are wrong. It's got a 10.5-inch nose and a 17.5-inch tail moment. I was trying to be. Let me get a drink of water. Got to kill myself. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Must have inhaled some balsa wood. Wow. The numbers are wrong. So if you guys remember a while back, I did it. Hang on a second. Shit. I did a video. There's something came out on the retrim of that airplane where I cut the elevators off and put new elevators on it. The elevators I had on it were fairly narrow, about 2.5 inches. And it was flying off the flap. So when you give it up, instead of the tail swinging around, you could feel it lift, lift like that. It was an experimental airplane. So not only having the wrong tail moments and nose moment, it had that problem with the flap, the flap being bigger than the elevator. So it, instead of going like that, it lifted up. It was really odd to fly. So before Joe and all one year, I said, John, I gotta cut these elevators off. And that was in Dayton where I cut them elevators off and made a new set. They were 4 inches wide. That helped cure the problem where it would turn, on its tail, but the clock time was way out. That thing, it flew just like Doran's airplane. You can see the tail swing around, because it's so damn long. And the nose was so long that it turned so slow. So it was really odd looking. To me, people like that airplane. They say it flies good. It looks okay. But when I fly it, it doesn't go like that, like these do. These airplanes are made to go snap, just like the old 40s, 35 size airplanes just go zip, snap. So you shorten it up because you got to think, what does a flying wing do? What does a combat wing do? The engine's sitting on the leading edge, and the boom is only 6 inches away from the trailing edge, and it'll go like that. It'll just do little tiny loops. These guys want to stretch these airplanes out so damn long, I guess, so that the judges can see them, that they look funny when they're flying. They just flop around, it's terrible to me. And then you got other guys, they're talking about, the 4-inch bell crank came about because they wanted to, Billy said it felt like it gave it power steering. Well, if you took the weight out of the nose, it would turn the corner instead of trying to lever it around the corner with a big bell crank. Because my original Vipers had 3-inch bell cranks in them, and they all went, they're perfect because you set them up nose heavy. This airplane should balance 2.5 inches in front of behind the leading edge. And that gives you good directional stability in the wind. So it's not always going like that. And when you give it up, it's light enough that the tail will overpower the weight and it'll go snap like that. And that's the reason for sweeping the leading edge forward, because it moves the center of pressure forward on the wing. My thoughts. I'm not an engineer. I'm just a mechanic, but I've built enough airplanes of all sorts of configurations that I know what feels right. And these long lumber wagons don't feel right. So, and Ron years ago in the 90s would say, "You'll come around, you'll come around." He was right. Because I was trying to go with the flow, so to speak. Build SV-22, build a imitation or citation, whatever the hell Francher calls his thing, or impact or whatever. They do not feel right to me. They're lumber wagons. Guys win with them. Hey, knock yourself out. If you like that feel, more power to you. Like the big Jim Greenaway designs, that pattern master. I would think that would be horrendous to fly with a 3-inch thick rib. And the reason why it's that thick is because they built them so damn heavy. Yeah. They built them that thick to carry more weight. Well, if you read Galdini's barbell effect, bigger engine, longer tail, bigger engine, thicker wing, heavier weight. I mean, you're chasing your tail. So the thing to do is get rid of parts, get rid of everything, make it as light as possible. And people say, well, an 049 will pull that. Yeah, well, it'll pull that, but will it pull it with authority? And that's why I like the Brian Gardner Super Tiger 60s. That when you get a Brian Gardner liner and a Super Tiger 60 and you put them together, you basically have a PA Super Tiger, plain and simple. And I like them. They run so damn good, it's ridiculous. And I do have one of these. And I thought about setting this airplane up for this. And I do have a pipe. This is a side to rear exhaust Super Tiger header. So you bolt that on there and put a pipe on it. We can start weighing this shit up. I said, well, it's not about the weight, it's about the speed control. No, it's about the weight, as far as I'm concerned. So this airplane, let's say it came out 52 ounces. The other one's 53. So my 53-ounce airplane, if I went side to rear exhaust, that's over an ounce. 1.1 ounce, 53 ounces. For 54 ounces, then we add a pipe and coupler, plus there's, I get this off here. Take that off. Got to have a pipe on there. That's 3.5 ounces plus, so we got 3 3/4 ounces. Now that all sounds good, but that's not where it ends. Got to have more fuel. Gonna have to run another ounce of fuel because you got to turn it up. And you're gonna have to have a carbon prop, so that's 2 more ounces. So you got 5.5 ounces. And where's that 5.5 ounces slung? Underneath the horizontal center of gravity. Okay, well, you can overcome that by dropping the lead outs on the wingtip. Yeah, but that puts another another goofy equation to it. So oh boy, somebody's texting me. Must be about flying or something. So I mean, this would work. It just I don't know. Just more rigmarole to carry around. Plus, it would be sticking out the fuselage like that. I don't think so. You'd have that sticking out there. Yeah, let's see what they want. Some nonsense. Going flying tomorrow. Okay. Is fine by me. If you're watching this, Steve, don't text me back. I don't like to be texted while I'm doing video. Wait till it's over. Anyway, so I could make this side to rear, but you're giving up all that weight. Oh, this is a 75 pipe anyway, but it would work on here. I got a 61 pipe over there. I got more pipages nonsense around here. Got two up there. There's a new 61 pipe up there. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. That's supposed to be leading and trailing edge, both are swept. How much does the tongue muffler weigh? 7 grams. Sometimes you can get them down to 6. 2 mufflers around an ounce. So a tube muffler weighs as much as that. The only thing that's nice about a piped airplane, as far as I'm concerned, is that it takes one paper towel to wipe it off because it's puking out the bottom and it's going by the tail wheel. So yeah, it's a little quieter. Okay, I'll give you that. And you only use one paper towel. Well, get over it. Just wipe the airplane down and put some earplugs in. Because the Brian Gardner, I don't know if they changed the timing or what, but the Brian Gardner setup works absolutely perfect. You cannot, I mean, it makes a Super Tiger a new animal. No, I know it wasn't you, Steve Barry. It was the other Steve. I know he's watching. And I hate text to begin with. You can always just go, hello, but do it after the show. I'm not in, I'm a boomer. I'm not in that texting group. I wish I could take that text feature off that phone, to be honest with you. Okay, so I've been rambling now for half an hour. I guess I could do it a few more minutes to make it even half an hour. You guys got any questions? But trust me when I say I have built airplanes in all sorts of configurations. A toilet seat will fly. All you got to do is have enough power. And I can prove that if you guys are interested in seeing some wacky shit. Maybe I'd do that for the channel. But it will fly. Not well, but it will fly. Because we're not really flying. We're powering a tethered kite, basically. Super Tiger 60 on a toilet seat will fly. 13.6 propeller, set of landing gear, and a boom for an elevator. Bell crank in the center. It will fly. Just like a platter, just like them 049 stop sign platters, you know. Is it flying? Not really. Like the Junkyard Ward's airplanes. Hell, a 049 and a rag will fly. Take your 049 rubber band around the gas tank, start it up, let it go, it'll fly off. I used to take a 3-foot piece of 1/4 inch, measure over 18 inches, put a metal motor mount for an 049 on there, put an 049 in the center, put a 10.6 rev up propeller on an 049 and start it. It'd go pop, 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 and then you turn the needle valve in until it's just screaming its guts out, which it's only doing about, I don't know, a couple thousand RPM. And you go pop, pop, and let it go, and it'll go, whoa, it'll take right off and helicopter up out of sight. I did all kind of shit when I was a kid. So I know what will work and what won't work. Maybe I ought to get an 049 and make one of those for the Nats, because that field is big enough to support that. You know, you're not going to land in a house. It'll go whoop, and then the engine quits and comes right, falls straight out of the air. All right, well, I'm done for now. I'll continue to do this, and I'll come back when I'm sanding, I guess, because you guys don't want to hear me ramble. And you don't want to see me do the same thing over and over and over again. Of course, I only got 9 more times to do it. But we'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. Thanks for watching.